morning to you. Thank you for joining us again on independent television as Nigeria decides the very 23rd day of February. That is exactly the day that the scheduled election is really taking place across the 744 local governments in Nigeria. Well, we've been taking samples and we've been getting our reports from reporters of independent television on the ground, and we will still be doing that. But with me in the studio, as we look at issues emanating from the very general elections that is ongoing, from my extreme left, I have the Executive Director of Foundation for Good Governance and Social Change, Austin Osakwe. Many thanks for coming, Austin.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
And Austin Osakwe is a legal practitioner. And next, we have the erudite and also an articulate civil society activist, Pastor Olu Martins. Thank you for coming, Olu Martins.
Good morning, for having me and for listeners and watchers on television and radio. Thank you.
And also, we have the constitutional lawyer and Notary Public of Nigeria, Adams Aliyu. Many thanks for coming.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you, moderator.
Okay, we've been following events as it unfolds. Nigeria taking it up to make a decision on how the government is going to look like in the next 4 years. And we've been following events. And Austin Osakwe, I choose to start with you. Looking at what has been happening so far in some places, we recorded this stream where INEC officials arrived late, while in other places there was also some appreciable time they came. But in all of this, what do you make of this as development has been unfolding?
Well, I like to commend Nigerians, and particularly Edo people, for the large turnout. One thing that has been reported across board today is the fact that Nigerians have turned out in their large numbers to vote. What that also means is that Nigerians are ready to take decisions, far-reaching decisions on the future of this country and the manner in which governance is prosecuted. The second is that the media must be commended for conducting a blitzkrieg of awareness, which I think has partly contributed to the large turnout. In spite of all the difficulties, in spite of the expected apathy that would have arisen because of that last week postponement, what we are seeing from unit to unit, from ward to ward, from local government to local government, is that Nigerians have come out in large numbers. Having said that, the same story we have always had from one election to another, poor level of preparedness, logistic issues.
On the part of INEC?
Yes, which culminates in late arrival of materials to election centers, late arrival of election officials, while the people are there waiting. 8 o'clock was the appointed time fixed by INEC itself. Nigerians as early as 7:30 were in the various polling centers, only for them to wait for at times 1 hour, 2 hours in some cases, and yet no materials, no election officials. It's not a problem that is just coming up. It's something we have always had in all of the elections that I have witnessed in this country. We need to begin to ask ourselves, how do we overcome this? Perhaps as we get along, we can provide solutions. Then finally, of course, we have heard reports that in some areas, there are no security men at all. Security presence is zero in very many areas, according to the reports that we are getting.
Okay.
So at this point, what one wants to do is to appeal to Nigerians to continue to be patient, and to wait patiently in those areas where electoral materials have not yet arrived.
Okay. Before I come to you, Olu Martins, just letting you know that the election is ongoing, and in some areas we've been having reports of peaceful elections so far. But Olu Martins, what's your bite on what has been happening so far?
Thank you. Like my father tells me, the way your parents-in-law behave at your wedding gives you an idea of the kind of woman that you have married. Like they say, if your mother-in-law is dancing too much on your wedding day, you may have married a troublesome woman. You see, at last we have given her away. Just to say that the way Nigerians have behaved in this election has demonstrated to us that Nigerians want to own the process, demonstrated to us that they've realized that the foundation for nation building is the kind of leaders that you elect for at least another 1,260 days thereabout, who will preside over our common patrimony and decide the quality of life that we have lived, what we are going to live. So we must commend Nigerians for the large voter turnout. Let me quickly pause you there. I'll come back to you. A report just reaching us says on Eyewitness report that as at 11:07 a.m. at University of Benin Teaching Hospital, no accreditation yet. At University of Benin Teaching Hospital, no accreditation yet as at 11:07. Well, we just hope that there should be a twist in development in order to make sure that the accreditation commences and voting starts simultaneously. Well, don't forget also that you can reach us on WhatsApp only on the number 08038726759, and you send pictures and videos only on that number. But we have a caller right now, and you'll be telling us your name, where you're calling from, and make your contributions. Okay, Omowa Jonah, one of our reporters on the ground, is giving us a situation report. Go ahead.
0331449.
Okay, we'll be joining Omowa Jonah as he brings the report on his side, what is happening so far. But before he joins us on that, let's quickly come back to you.
Yeah, so I was saying that Nigerians must be commended.
Yeah.
And just to toe the line of our senior comrade, that the media has also played a huge role.
Okay, okay, we have Omowa Jonah now on the line. Omowa Jonah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, what's the situation in your place there?
The election so far in part of Ondo State I have covered have been so peaceful and orderly. As early as 7 o'clock, the electorates were already out, prepared to cast their votes. And all the units and what I visited, the INEC official came on time to attend to the electorate.
All the units?
Yeah.
So can you say you are having, is there no challenge in terms of the preparation of INEC officials in respect of making sure that this process goes so well? Is there any challenge?
Yes, there are. In Methodist Primary School in Okitikupa, a complaint of smart card malfunctioning. Although the INEC officials said they have lodged complaint, until we left the place, the electorate were still waiting for the INEC to replace the smart card reader.
Okay.
That is the Methodist Primary School, Unit 3 and 7 in Okitikupa.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Omowa Jonah. Well, following that report, I know you want to have a comment on that, but quickly go back to what you said.
However, is that whilst we bask in the euphoria of the large voter turnout and the fact that in most places INEC officials appear to have arrived early, at least in most instances.
Yes.
We've reached out to some of our people on the field, and some people have voted and they haven't gone back to their houses. We must, however, add that the challenge sometimes is not when the vote is being cast. The challenge sometimes is when the vote is being counted. Where there are issues of should this count, should this not count, if voted above the line. That's where tension builds. We must also commend security agents. Most of the information that we have gotten, save for a few overzealous security operatives, most people too having identified yourself, has given you, a free pass. We must commend. However, the highest commendation is to the Nigerian people, because without the Nigerian people, there can't be an elections. Either Nigerians have decided that they will participate either in getting one person in or in getting another person out. But whichever way is that, the overwhelming zeal, in spite of the postponement of the election and vis-a-vis the turnout of Nigerians, is commendable, and Nigerians must be commended and encouraged to continue to be civil in the discharge of their civic duties.
Okay, thank you. We'll be joining McDonald Irunokai, reporting from Auchi 8 Sako West. Hello, McDonald.
Yes, Philip, it's McDonald on the line.
Good morning. How is the situation there?
The situation is cool and calm. The process is on. I started my movement from 8 o'clock. I've gone around my movement from 8 o'clock. I've gone around Ward 11 that has about 6 units. The turnout there was impressive. As at the moment, the process is on. The turnout are impressive. I've gone around Ward 10, then Ward 12. All the units have so far visited have their normal turnout. Then there's only in one ward we discovered the card reader that they said it was not functioning, but before now they have fixed it.
Okay, but when you
in
have...
general, the process is on. No record, disorderly, peaceful and calm, but the turnout as well is in order, as in impressive or high.
Okay, McDonald, were there any challenge about late arrival of INEC officials and materials?
You said?
Was there any challenge of late arrival of INEC officials and materials?
No, nothing of such. Materials, as at that 8 o'clock I said I was out, already was noticing materials in every of the units. But the big party has to do some with other arrangements, like receive their bus, their materials, ensuring the card readers are working. So all these have been able to say that they are working portion and they are working.
Thank you,
McDonald. Still one unit now, which is what 10. The process is on.
Thank you. All right, that's the... Yes, I can hear you. Are you done? Is there any other thing you want to add to it?
Come again.
Do you have other situations that you want to talk about now?
No. All is well. I'm even at one unit now.
Thank you. We'll bring you back as we make a development on the issues arising from the ongoing election. Now, we've had this issue about the modified open secret ballot system that was brought about by INEC, Adams Aliyu. And there is this challenge where we notice that in some polling units, it seems to be all open kind of ballot system, rather than having an open secret ballot system where INEC officials attend to you and then you go to a secret place and cast the vote. In the reports we saw of the president, that happens to be a feature of the open secret ballot system. But in other polling units, we had the otherwise. What do you make of that?
Well, the process is intermingled, open secrets, meaning that by the time you have been accredited, when you are thumb printing, that is where the secrecy comes in. And you don't put your thumb in the open. You thumb print in secrets. Then to drop it now, you raise it up, take a few steps, put it in the corresponding box. That one is open for people to see that you are dropping only one ballot paper. But this voting process itself is secret. So it is a mixture of open, secret ballot system. And it is in order.
Okay, we have Pat Osargiwa's interview with the REC commissioner on non-availability of materials in some centers. We will be having that in a short while. But let's look at the whole process.
Okay.
And a situation where in the reports we had some challenges where a woman was seen as reported distributing PVCs. Don't you think that's exactly what the president meant by saying that any election offender should be ruthlessly dealt with? But in this report, she was seen to be walking away so freely without any apprehension. What do you make of that?
The presidential directive was strictly speaking on ballot boxes snatchers. It will be ill-fated and judgmental to think that if somebody it is a matter arising, had that woman get more than one PVC, are they able to use it? These are circumstantial byproducts.
But is she not supposed to be apprehended, being that
she must have been apprehended. She must have been apprehended. That's electoral malpractice. And the Electoral Act 2010 does not condone that. I'm sure she must have been apprehended, because if you have more than one PVC, you are not entitled to committed an offense.
Okay, we are having from Katsina State a phone in. Hello.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, good morning. What's the situation report?
Yeah, is this more afternoon?
Yeah, from Buhari Daura, journalist, NUJ chairman, Katsina. Go ahead.
Yes, how are you?
Good morning, I'm fine. So what's the situation over there?
Okay, how is it?
All is well?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead with the situation report over there.
Hello, you said?
I can hear you. Go ahead with your report.
So you are hearing me now?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Yes, but I told you, here in Dora, the hometown of the president, there is good turnout of people for this presidential and national assembly election.
Okay, the turnout is impressive. You said the turnout is impressive. What about the issue of the card reader? Are they experiencing failure in that region on the card reader?
You said what?
How is the card reader functioning?
There is no problem on card reader.
Okay.
There is no problem on card reader. They are perfectly working.
All right. What about the late arrival of materials? Did you experience that? Did you notice that over there?
No, the materials have arrived in good time. The materials have arrived in good time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, that was a report from Buhari Daura, NUJ. Let's look at the way events have been unfolding, Austin Osakwe, most especially in the modified open secret ballot system. That seems not to be coming up in some polling units.
Yes, as we have seen, it's not there. Where also, my polling center where I went to vote this morning, the same thing played out. And I think it has to do with infrastructure to prosecute the open secret ballot system. It's very clear. The first stage is done in the open. Accreditation, you are given materials to go and vote. Then you walk away from where people are to an enclosure to vote. And then you cast your vote. Yes. That is between you and your God, your conscience. When you have done that, you bring the paper out. You show it. And then that is in the open. You go drop it in the box where they now put an indelible ink on your fingertip to show that you have actually voted. So, but that secret part of it is largely not there, because as you can see from the reports and from what we have seen this morning, is that all appears to be in the open. Now, the danger in this is that it becomes susceptible to manipulation. Vote buying becomes easy. Because to be able to buy and sell vote, the person who is paying should be sure that you have actually voted for the person that you are being paid to vote for. Now that phones are not allowed into the voting arena, you can't snap it and go and show so that you can collect your money. So the open secret thing is to facilitate the total independence of judgment by the person who is voting. And I think that INEC needs to work towards that. If it is resources they need to put in place this infrastructure that will guarantee the secrecy of the secret aspect, then they need to ask for it. Two, what we seem to have across board are temporary contraptions as voting centers. Where you have a primary school, that can easily be achieved. In one of the classrooms, you can have the secret part.
Okay.
But where you have, for instance, where I voted, directly opposite the NNPC, an open land, part of the challenge this morning was, where do we draw the line? Where do we have the people who are waiting to vote? It spilled over onto the road and all that. So INEC does not have its own facilities. Government has not put in place such facilities, considering that we are talking of thousands of voting centers. So it's something that's going to take time. For me, all of these should be temporary. What we should be working towards is full-blown electronic voting. If it's done in other societies, it can be done here. And the resources are there. Instead of frittering away these resources seasonally, let's just put resources at once and get electronic voting right. Like I was saying this morning outside, we use POS. We all use POS. The electronic voting is not different from that. We all use our phones. So that's where we should be working towards.
Okay. Well, Olu Martins, what's your view about that? Do you see it as an open way to encourage rigging?
Look, absolutely. We can't go. We can't be analog in a digital economy. You know, it's only in Nigeria that we still see, if you go and do affidavit, you will still see manual typewriters, and people are hitting it. And in the 20, you go to government offices, you will see behind the director a heap load of files of paper that the man needs to sign in a digital age where you can even sign whatever it is on computer. So a foolproof is to ensure that that's where the world is going anyway. But let me quickly talk about the secret, ballot, so that people don't think that when they say show it, it means that you should open.
Oh, certainly not.
When you go to the cubicle, I have seen that demonstrated several times.
Yes.
What the INEC has provided this time is quick dry ink. As a matter of fact, the moment you thumbprint, the ink dries immediately. So you are supposed to fold it. It is when you come out, it is the folded paper that you show, and then you drop it into the box. In most instances now, you will see people holding the slip all folded. So somebody who has an eagle eye there can sight it and then give signal to the disburser that he has voted in this direction. The way to vote is you go to the cubicle, you fold it. The ink is instant dry ink. It's unlike the ink where they used before. When you fold it, it's possible that it will stain this other side. In this particular one, the moment you get the ink, you put your thumb on whoever you want to vote for, it dries immediately. You fold the paper, you flatten it, then you go and drop it in the ballot box as provided. Because if the man who wants to buy vote, and in any case, those who want to buy, because we leave it at vote buying, we should call it vote transaction, vote trading. Because the man who wants to buy, there must be a willing seller. But if the man is not sure of how you will vote, very just now, we saw something that looked like the president going to look at how his wife, voted, whether that was comical or whatever, but at least the man, and that shouldn't have been the case. The woman should have brought out her ballot paper folded so that not even her husband will be able to know how she voted. That is INEC prescription, so that we can do away with issues of vote buying.
I have to cut in again because we'll be having Best in Beres interview with ADP candidate for Igbo Federal Constituency, Pius Alile. Let's get that shortly.
We're right here at Ward 7, Unit 1 and 2 of a local government area. The exercise has started here, but it's a little bit slow, and some of the electorates have expressed concern that the INEC official came a little bit late, and the exercise is not as fast as they expected, and they've also expressed worry that all the voters may not be captured before the 2 o'clock deadline. Pardon me. I'll be joining the ADP candidate for Igbo Federal Constituency, Honorable Pius Alile. So how's the exercise here? Here is your center. Can you just come this way a little? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for coming. Well, it's peaceful. Generally, it's peaceful. Violence, in fact. But the major problem we have, I just spoke about, because of the coloration, they keep saying that there is no clear demarcation between the presidency, the Senate, and the House of Rep. So they are using color to differentiate the position, and that could have been very clear to say this is for the presidential, this is for the electoral, this is for the senatorial, and this is for the...
But aside that, sir, are you
that is the only observation I have made. When they are starting too late as well, but people have been impatient as well. So I think it's peaceful.
What are your chances?
Oh, I'm winning the election. There's no doubt about that. I keep saying I'm winning the election. I'm winning the election. That is my own.
But in the event that you don't win, will you accept
I will accept it. So yes, I don't have it now. I will accept it. So there's no problem about that.
Very grateful, sir. Thank you so much. We're speaking with the ADP candidate for Igbo Federal Constituency, Honorable Parius Alile. He has displayed a spirit of the true Nigerian man. He said he's optimistic that he will win, but in the event that he is not declared the winner, he will accept the result in good faith. We'll be joining you again with more updates as we go around.
Best Imperial for that very apt report on what is happening in that area where we have the ADP candidate of Igbo Federal Constituency, Pius Alile. Well, you saw that, Pastor Olumatins. You saw what he really, the report and the composure, which shows that the presence of security men, to a great extent, is bringing about some calm. What do you think of that?
Absolutely. Even when we say that, and just to concur with what Austin said, if I've ever had the opportunity to look at how elections are conducted in Ghana, what they have is work-free day. By 12, normal business life goes on, and people are going to vote. That's because the independent electoral commission there have proved that they are not for anybody. Secondly, the political stake is not so high. In Nigeria, political stake is high. It's in this country that you can go from driving a rickety car and then you get a political appointment, or you win an election, and the next time we see you back to your constituency, it is in a long convoy. So the money that is attached to political office is too high. The gestation period. Why should I go and start a filling station business of 20 million when I can use that same 20 million perhaps to contest for House of Rep, and then I have to wait to earn maybe 5 naira per liter for a period of 5 years to, I will take that same money into politics. So we first of all must address that. That's what gives rise to the heavy security and militarization, of our politics. However, is that what has now happened is that the stake has been pretty high. The stake has been pretty high, do you understand? And everybody has shown interest. And it's saying that it was Patrick Henry indeed that said that the collective freedoms of a people cannot be guaranteed as long as the actions and inactions of government is shrouded in mystery and secrecy. Now that there's a consciousness, both locally and internationally, everybody wants to know the outcome of this election. The stake is high. That's why you see that even the Nigerian police and the army do not have a choice but to behave themselves in a civil way, because the whole world, the searchlight is being, on Nigeria now. And so this election for us, it's a make or mar, and I trust that it's going to be a make election so we can go past this phase and consolidate on our democracy and become better as a country.
Okay, let's look at the number of policemen, Adam Saliu, that the police headquarters did say that will be deployed for this election, looking at over 300,000 policemen. And the issues arising also from arrest of some political party leaders, like what we had, the clashes we had in Kaduna and also in Kwara State, that brought about the arrest of the Federal Executive, Federal Constituency member in Kaduna State, Abdul Mumin, and also that of Kwara State, this Kwara South Senatorial District, Ibrahim Rufai. All of this were what we spoke about, where some leaders were saying that few hours to the election, there shouldn't be a situation where some political leaders will be arrested. But that has started taking place. What do you have to say?
The instances being cited, they are selective, they are few, those instances are not the order of the day. You know, in a nationwide activity like this, from Calabar to Zouguérou, Sokoto to Lagos, there are bound to be some irregularities. The most important is that those anomalies will not mar the safe conduct of the election. And we must point out tangentially that the 1 week postponement has provided more good than harm. You can see the enthusiasm with which people came out now. Even some quasi bodies like IPOP that were threatening boycott, they now told their people to go out and vote. Those who were reluctant to collect their PVC collected theirs. So I think in all, it may not be 100%, it may not be yet Uhuru, but the instances of irregularities, because for the Electoral Act 2010, there are offenses before the election, offenses on the election day, offenses after the voting. So if you commit election offense 24 hours before the election, you can be apprehended. And we are yet to see cases of people who are being prosecuted. As long as there are no prosecutions to serve a deterrent to others, that is why we keep on seeing this idea, vote buying, ballot box snatching, multiple voting impersonation. I'm sure this time around, if anybody is caught, it will be a sacrificial lamb. They will use him or her as an antidote, as an example to scare others away. So the security agents will not fold their hands. The lady that was allegedly distributing PVC should be apprehended and dealt with according to the law.
Okay, thank you. Following reports on the clashes in Kaduna and Kwara states that led to the arrest of these candidates who up to yesterday were still detained. What do you make on that, Austin?
Well, don't forget that the 2 main candidates in this election are Northerners. They are Muslims. So one has always expected that the theater of battle for supremacy will be in that northern political arena.
Okay, we will be joining Best Mbire on the interview of the PDP candidate for Igbo-Ikpobaka Federal Constituency, Jude Idehen. We'll be getting that report shortly, following what is happening in that direction.